So next question. So do you think that Japan and Asian resources, Japanese and Asian studies in Europe have gained any position in DARIAH?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not an expert on Japanese studies. I don't speak the language, so I may not be the best person to answer this question. But from what I know from the position of the director of DARIAH, also I was recently, last summer, I was the chair of the programming committee of Digital Humanities, the biggest DH conference in the world. And what I have noticed, and I'm always very happy to notice, is that Japanese researchers are there, they are present, they are delivering great papers, and they are very much seen in Europe. So in that sense, I know you are there, I know you are active. I would very much hope that we could do more together. And as far as DARIAH is concerned, we are open to collaborating with non-European countries. As I said, I gave you already the example that we are working with some institutions in the United States. And there are different ways of doing it. One is through cooperating partnerships. So for instance, the Tokyo Center for Digital Humanities or the National Institute for Humanities could become a cooperating partner for DARIAH. We could discuss things that we could do together, activities, trainings, any kinds of initiatives that we would like to work together on. But perhaps, more difficultly, but more importantly, I think it would be important for Japan, and this goes to the level of policy and the Ministry of Research and strategic thinking at the level of the Japanese government. It is incredibly important that policymakers recognize two things. One, that arts and humanities matter because culture matters, history matters, identity matters. And that it is strategically important for every country to push scientific discoveries and push scientific methods into the future. And to do that, they need to invest. They need to invest into building research infrastructures. They need to invest into capacity building at the national level. And there, I think DARIAH can also offer a lot of advice, because what we do in various European countries is we speak to the ministries, we advise, we show the way how things should be done. And we'd be more than happy and honored to be in a position to help Japan as well, if there is interest and if you think there is something to be learned. So we are very open to this kind of collaboration and hope that we can continue doing that in the future.
So next question. So what do you think is possible or expected of DH in Japan or Asia? For example, what kind of data would you like to be published? Also, how would you like to see the Asian DH community develop?
I don't think I can give you advice on what kind of data you would like or even say what I would like to see published. I think there the question is always, what are the needs of the research communities, right? That has to come from the researchers themselves. We as DARIAH don't set this kind of policy, because it is ultimately up to the researchers to define what is needed and what they want to see. But there is one thing that I would like to mention that I think is very important. As we've been working on building DARIAH, we have realized that in order to build a research infrastructure, right, there has to be investment. Somebody has to fund the tools, the services that are built, the people that are working on it, etc. But there is a lot of what I like to call invisible labor that goes into building a research infrastructure. And let me try to explain. So usually in the academic sector, people get credit only for the final stage of academic work, which is when you publish a research article, right? And we work a lot to get to that stage. We digitize text, we correct the text, we annotate the text, we produce a TI edition, we analyze. There's a million steps that we do, And ultimately, then you produce one piece of writing and then you get credit for it. But what happens in a lot of countries, and in Europe this is a big topic these days, is that all these steps that lead to the production of a research article remain invisible and undervalued. People don't get the credit that they deserve for the important work that they do in producing tools and assets. So what needs to happen is we need to change the culture of research assessment. We need to change the way we value and what we consider is valuable in research. So it shouldn't be, research assessment shouldn't be based only on the ultimate product, but rather on the process leading to that product. And why is that important for DARIAH or any research infrastructure? Because the research infrastructure is not built on research articles. It is built on all these multiple steps that lead to the production of a research article. So one important initiative in Europe that DARIAH is a member of and a founding member of is called COARA. It's Coalition for the Reform of Research Assessment. And what I hope is that in Japan you would have a similar conversation, and that you would also involve your ministries or your national foundations that deal with the humanities or any sciences about what is it that we value in research. Because if we can give people academic credit for building tools, for encoding text, for doing all these things, they will be more likely to share that with other researchers, and then we would have a richer research infrastructure because more of the tools and resources would become available. So my advice, if you are asking me, is don't focus only on the ultimate objects of research, but on the whole process, on the workflows. Share workflows, share different steps in producing knowledge. This is what research infrastructure should be about, not just on that final step, but on preserving the process of producing knowledge.
It's time for closing this interview. Thank you very much for so significant answer for us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.